Hello, hello, hello. What's up, fellas? What's up, ladies? What's going on, beautiful people of the United States of America and around the world? We are here again today, live, people, and it is a glorious, glorious evening. God bless you guys and you and your families, people you consider close. God bless you guys that have been tuning in for, God knows how long, for a long time now. If you guys don't know what it is, name's Calvin here, and founder of CaliWalks, founder of CaliWalks.org. Cali Speaks Truth, guys. Today, guys, we are going to touch on a topic today, and it is going to be, uh, we're going to touch on the topic, and it's going to fall under our personal development. And today, guys, we're going to touch on an important topic, okay? And it has to do with mental and physical health, okay? So, more on personal development. Today's topic, guys, is the effects of smoking and the effects of smoking on the brain, the effects of smoking and the brain, guys. Very important topic, guys. And here, guys, uh, this we'll keep it simple. So I'll start simple, then I'll go into the um, more of the science behind it, right? With actual evidence of facts. From the basic, guys, know that smoking is a bad habit. Okay, it is a bad habit that has been picked up, in some point of your life that at some point you did it, you picked it up, and let's say you may have saw somebody else that was close to you that was doing it, or you were looking at, let's say, the media, you were looking at somebody you maybe admired or whoever that was doing it, and you started doing it, right? So uh smoking, guys, not a good habit, and we know this, guys, we know smoking is not a good habit, okay? And so we'll start from there. Why is it not good? Well, from the basics, we know this. Everybody should know this, right? That smoking is just not good for your lungs. Okay, it's not good for your airways. It's not good for just your breathing, your sinuses, uh, for your throat, right? For your nose, just for your breathing, for your respiratory, just breathing in general, right? Smoking is not good for that, right? And so smoking is just a bad habit. Okay, some people say, well, I only do it because it makes me feel good, and it makes me just feel good. It relieves my stress, my anxiety. Some people have different reasons why they do it, right? But guys, it doesn't matter why you do it. Here at CaliWalks, we know that smoking is just not good. Okay, even if you're not even in CaliWalks, if you're not following the community, uh, you know, or it doesn't even matter. Even if you subscribe to our channel or not, in your subconscious that smoking is probably not a good thing, just overall in general. And it leads me to my next point here, that um, many times when you hear smoking being a bad habit, scientists and researchers, um, they always point to, many of the times they'll point to the body, like your airways, right, your lungs, right, your actual body. But they barely ever focus on the mind, right? They focus on, okay, your physical body, right? This is important to keep healthy, but most importantly, your brain, your mind, guys, which is very, very important, guys. Our brain helps us do, it actually does a lot of things for us, helps us process information, retain memory, um, experience emotion, do a lot of things, actually see certain visions, right? To dream, to imagine, right? Mental health is very, very important, guys, right? We're in a society where, in a time where, you know, let's say, especially after COVID and all that, and I'm not going to get into the politics and all that, but mental health, right? Mental health. It's being more brought out. It's being talked about more because it is very real. Now, back then, let's say in the 80s, the 70s, 80s, even 90s, or even early 2000s, mental health, people were, referring to mental health. A lot of people really kind of brush it off, right? Mental health, oh, I just do what I do and I'm good. Oh, I deal with what I deal with in a certain way and I'm good, right? But now it's actually becoming more and more talked about because, you know, people are experiencing uh, just, they're experiencing mental health problems, which is very real, right? So I feel like, and I've heard this, there used to be just some sort of stigma behind it, people feeling like they're ashamed to talk about it. There's no judgment here in the Cali Walks here, or even on our channel, or even our community, or anything like that. So, talking about these things is very important because that's what we focus on, right? Cali Walks does focus on mental and physical health. Those are the areas that we do focus on. So, very important, right? Without really a sound mind, and you being comfortable in yourself and knowing who you are, guys, then of course that's going to, you're going to be led in doing things that is really, you know that is really not in your benefit, or let's say even in your convenience, right? So mental health, very important, guys. And so smoking, guys, after doing some research, uh, it does affect mental health, guys. And um, specifically, smoking, there's reading, after reading um, an article here from Washington University School of Medicine in St. Louis. They found out that smoking causes brain shrinkage, right? And they're talking about, so smoking, um, mostly, nicotine, tobacco products, but also even other things as well. Okay, uh, and in this article, it mentions smoking shrinks the brain, according to study by researchers at Washington University School of Medicine in St. Louis. The good news is that quitting smoking prevents further loss of brain tissue, but still, stopping smoking doesn't restore the brain to its original size. Since people's brains naturally lose volume with age, smoking effectively causes the brain to age prematurely, the researchers said. Okay, and these are researchers from, again, Washington University School of Medicine, and these guys have, I believe, about 2,700 or 2,800 facilities. These guys have, physicians who actually practice what they're teaching, what they're preaching, and what they're discovering, and so these guys are not playing around. Okay. All right. Now, global. So the findings published in Biological Psychiatry, Global Open Science help explain why smokers are at high risk of age-related cognitive decline and Alzheimer's disease, guys. right? Science have long known that smoking and smaller brain volume are linked, but they've never been sure which is the instigator, right? And there's a third factor to consider: genetics, right? Both brain size and smoking behavior are heritable. About half of a person's risk of smoking can be attributed to his or her genes, okay? Now, that doesn't mean to say that, let's say, if your mom or your dad, or let's say down the line their grandparents, they ended up smoking, that means you're going to be a smoker, right? That's just in your genes, right? Or that's just who you are. Like, I was talking to another brother, in the Lord as well, going out there, just talking about making CaliWalks aware and making it known. And he said that we were talking about, getting rid of bad habits. And he was saying that, well, I just feel like this is just in me, man. I was born like this, and all this. And, I told him that, no, I mean, that's a lie. You chose to participate and to partake and to do it, right? We all have choices, we all have decisions that we can make, that we do make. All right. So just because, let's say your parents did, or your some of your family members did, or your grandparents did, doesn't mean that you automatically just do it, right? You are watching, you may have watched them do it in your environment, but you yourself, you have a choice not to partake in, not to participate in it, right? You do have a choice. We all have a choice, right? God gave us free will, right? So you do have a decision that you can make to not engage in that type of behavior. Okay. Now, another thing too is that, um, another thing that was said as well by one of the researchers is that, uh, you can't undo the damage that has already been done, but you can avoid causing further damage, right? Smoking is a modifiable risk factor. There's one thing you can change to stop aging your brain and putting yourself at increased risk of dementia, and that's to quit smoking, guys. Right? And it was also saying as well in the article that, uh, that smoking, guys, actually, actually starts aging your brain faster, right? So smoking actually ends up aging your brain faster. And this is scientific research here, guys. Okay. So uh definitely take it, definitely just take the information that I'm giving you here, that I'm sharing with you here, and know that, let's say if this is a bad habit that you're struggling with, just know that you can overcome it. All right. It is very possible to overcome these types of bad habits, guys, in this behavior. All right. Now, another thing that I found out as well too, okay, is that, it is that smoking, guys, it's a thing that you do. It's a habit that is done to make you feel good, right? So it is like a reward, to make you feel good, right? Some people just do it to, like I said before earlier in this podcast here, is that they'll do it to feel good. They'll do it to relieve stress. They'll do it to, let's say, because that they do it to feel good. And when they do it to feel good, they're actually targeting that part of the brain that releases dopamine. Okay, and dopamine, that's like that feel good pleasure in the brain that it releases, that actually ends up being activated when you're doing this type of behavior, right? Whether you're smoking a cigarette, whether, let's say, you're smoking, uh, you know, another type of drug is dopamine. Okay. And so this also is a part of the brain, a pleasure part of the brain that is activated, believe it or not, when engaging in social media. Okay, when you're actually, let's say, when one person receives likes on his or her content or posting, the reward section in your brain called dopamine that actually also releases, right? And what's interesting too, guys, because here at CaliWalks, guys, I mean, we focus on these things, is that, and this is according to medicalnewstoday.com, is that smoking can impact mental health in several ways, including difficult sleeping, causing anxiety, stress, and depression, stopping medications for depression and anxiety from working, and worsening symptoms of PTSD, guys. Right. And so that's very ironic that, I was saying that people, they'll end up smoking they'll end up smoking a lot, to relieve stress or that anxiety, right? Or to kind of feel good because maybe they're feeling depressed. They're doing exactly what's actually going to cause them more, right? So it's actually leading them into more anxiety, into more stress, into more depression without them even knowing it, right? So that's another thing there too. And what's interesting about that is that, how the last video, or even the last podcast that we did, how mentioned the effects of social media in the brain, and how the effects of that uh, actually lead to, let's say, overconsumption of that, actually lead to mental health problems such as anxiety, stress, right, and depression, right. This here, this actually links it together. There's an association here, right? So this is very similar, right? So, meaning to say that these effects are very similar to one who is also constantly on, social media, who is constantly, scrolling, who is constantly doing this type of behavior. Okay, and now, and this is coming from New Line, NEU linehealth.com, guys. Right? Uh, it affects, and this is social media that we're talking about, guys. All of this, guys, is what I'm trying to get at, guys, is that it's affecting it's affecting your brain, it's affecting the way that it functions, and your cognitive development. Okay, and smoking does the same thing. Also, is reading, before we go here, before and I'm actually gonna make a part two of this because I gotta eat some evening dinner. But actually, guys, is that uh, even smoking, guys, even smoking, guys, does affect that. It affects your functioning, brain functioning, and cognitive development, guys, and also, what was it? Uh, um, so movement, right? Movement. So it affects that, guys, right? So let me just read this, or let me just present you and read this newlinehealth.com. Right, this is according to this here, and we're talking about social media use. Research demonstrates regular social media use is changing our brain structure, function, and cognitive development in three key areas. They found the areas. One of the areas is attention capacity. Okay, your attention span, right? So researchers believe that since social media competes for your attention, with the promise of continuous new content, heavy social media users become less able to ignore distraction in general, which leads to poorer cognitive performance and shrinks parts of the brain associated with maintaining concentration, right? Memory and information processing is the second one, right? Researchers believe social media is affecting our transactive memory, the way our brain divides information and decides where to store it. With the advent of social media and smartphones, we know we know where to find information or proof about the event, but we don't keep as many details about the experiences stored internally in our memory. Okay, and attention capacity, memory, and information processing, guys, and also social and emotional response, right? So, meaning to say, guys, is that is that these guys, this is very similar to the effects of smoking, guys. So the effects of social media, heavy social media use, is very similar to the effects of smoking, right? And I'll explain to you further as well um, how even there's been more research done, and smoking actually affects the amount of uh, brain volume as well in one in somebody, right? So the amount of brain volume as well, it does affect there. Okay, and so very important, guys. Very important to know these things, especially uh, let's say if you are considering on doing it, or let's say you want to act like you're cool and just keep doing it, guys. It's very important to know the risks of what you're actually doing and getting into. Okay. um uh yeah, guys, so that's where I'm going to stop for right now. Okay, I'm actually going to have a part two to this because there's some more things that I want to get into. There's some more things that I want to explain, guys, so you guys can understand more of the facts. And I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer. Okay, guys, this is Cali Speaks Truth, podcast here. Okay, and for you guys that are on YouTube, you guys are checking us out on YouTube. You guys know here that all we speak here is straight facts. It is truth, right? So, and it's only truth so you can know and make the right informed decisions, and continue on being the best version of yourself, which is what we want to see here at CaliWalks, guys. So it's very important, guys. And before I go out here and eat some dinner here, before I make part two, just want to say, guys, that again, guys, the solution to all this, to this madness here, is to use and apply the CaliWalk schedule and principles, guys. It's going to keep you accountable. It's going to keep you accountable, and it's going to keep you focused, guys. And for you guys that don't know where the schedule or principles are at, go ahead, guys. Check it out at CaliWalks.org. All right. CaliWalks.org, guys. Go ahead. Check out where the schedule and principles are. You're going to go on the website. If you're on, whether you're on desktop or mobile, you're going to go and click. You can click Get Started at the top menu. You can watch the little videos there. You can read through what CaliWalks about. Click Get Started. And then from there, it's going to take you to our signature product page. You can purchase the schedule there and also the principles there. Anyways, guys, I'll see you guys soon in the next one. All right. Peace out.